welcome to day 2, y'all. Alright, week of prayer, let's get it. Alright. Look at this. A great weather outside. We're not in the sun anymore, come on. We're gonna get started today with another activity. Will you please welcome Mrs. Bello?
All right. We are going to play sit down if. So you have to start by standing up, right? So I'm going to say sit down if, and I'm going to say something, and then you're going to sit down, and then the last person standing wins. All right? I said you win. That's your prize. You win. Okay. You win the game. Okay, good. Okay. Sit down if you have eaten chocolate today already. Okay. Sit down if you are wearing purple. Sit down if you were born on the 31st day of any month. Sit down if you have ever owned a pet rabbit or a pet snake. Okay. Sit down if you have broken more than 2 bones in your body. Now be honest here. Sit down if you regularly pick your nose when no one's looking. Okay, good. Sit down if you have ridden in a limousine. Okay. Sit down if you forgot your this school year, forgot your homework or lunch and your mom has brought it to you. Nice mama. Sit down if you have ever ridden on a motorcycle. Oh, here's a good one. Sit down if your mom drives a minivan. Sit down if you have ever been to Disney World. I think more of you sat down then than for your mom drives a minivan. Sit down if you have green eyes. Okay, we're going to make sure Jaden sits down. Sit down if you spent more than 30 hours playing video games in the past 10 days. Sit down if you have never had stitches. Never. Stand up if the person next to you just sat down and they were wrong. They were lying. Sit down if you have more than 4 siblings. Okay. Sit down if you prefer dogs more than cats. Sit down if you were born in California. Okay. Sit down if you watched reality TV this week. Ms. Bella's sitting down. We got 1 over here and 4 over here. Okay? Sit down if you're the oldest sibling. Okay? Sit down if you like Pepsi more than Coke. Sit down if you have an iPhone. All right, we have a winner.
All right. Got him. Thanks, nice. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bello. Let's go ahead and stand and sing some songs together. Come on. This is 3. Just gonna sing this little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Come on. This little light of mine. Where's your lights? Come on. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. All around the neighborhood? All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. Hide it under a bushel. I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah. Hide it under a bushel, no. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, come on. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. 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 One more time. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. All right, nice. Guys, go ahead and take a seat. Hey, is input 3 unmuted, guys? Oh, it's here. I was unplugged, nice. There it is. All right, we're gonna sing a song called "How Great Is Our God." We sing the splendor of our King. Let's pray together. God, we are welcoming you into this place again for our second day of week of prayer, and we're grateful to be worshiping with you and being together out here on this non-sunny day. These things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Shelly, for singing with us, and you guys for, again, it's so good to be seen in person. Wow. So, we continue our practice of listening and hearing the stories of each other and how we've experienced different components of kindness. And today we'll be hearing from Mia and Annabelle on their experience with honesty, I think. Yes, all right, let's welcome Mia and Annabelle. Come on. Thank you. And you guys can mute my guitar. Thank you. Yeah.
I am too short for this.
You can just bring it up.
Yeah, okay. Hi. Okay, you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, thanks. So like Pastor Joe said, our topic today is honesty, and it took me a while to remember, but I remember Mrs. Smith in 4th grade. Not everyone had her. She did retire a few years ago, but those who did, I really love Mrs. Smith. She had a spray bottle, and when she thought we weren't being honest with her, she'd spray us with her spray bottle. So, I don't remember if there were kids that constantly got sprayed throughout the day. I know I wasn't one of them, but when I wasn't being honest with myself, I did have like a mental spray bottle. I'd spray myself with it because being dishonest with yourself is honestly one of the worst things you can do. It'll affect you badly in the long run. But I remember the spray bottle, and I will do that to my siblings if they're not honest with me. Maybe my parents, but I don't think that's gonna work. So just keep a spray bottle at hand in case someone's being dishonest with you.
Okay.
Nice.
So my story is about Miss Mackenzie. So at the beginning of the year, I was struggling a lot with algebra because I was pretty behind in math. I didn't understand what was going on. So when I finally went to Miss Mackenzie and asked her for help, like what I could focus on to get on track, she'd tell me like it was a really hard class and it's going to be difficult and you have to work for every step of the way. And then after she'd finish like telling me about that, then she'd say like, but I know you can do it. If you work hard enough, you can do well in this class, but I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be really hard. So that kind of helped me this year with my mindset that like, I can do it if I work hard enough. So I've been working like really hard this year to do my math well and everything. And it just like, she taught me that honesty isn't something that's just like, it's not just brutal honesty. Like brutal honesty is pretty good, but it's easy to just be honest and not remember what the other person's feeling like. And it's also really easy to lie and say everything's gonna be okay, it's super easy. But like Miss Mackenzie mixed encouragement and honesty together, and I think that's really hard to do. And it taught me that that's the best way to be honest with other people and yourself. So yeah.
Thank you, too. So we're going to continue getting to know some of our teachers with some questions that I have. And today, can you all please welcome Ms. Mackenzie? All right. Yes. You are the keeper. Miss Mackenzie, how are you doing today?
I'm not sure how I should feel. All these kind words being said. Am I going to be fired?
No.
What's happening? What's happening?
You are being loved. You are being loved.
Okay.
So, Miss Mackenzie, how did you start teaching? How'd you get into teaching?
Isn't that an interesting question? I had no intentions of teaching. My entire life had been based on wanting to go to medical school. In fact, my undergrad work was in biology. And after I got married and had kids, I couldn't really get back into work or school like I needed to. And so I started coming to school with my kids, you know, those helicopter parents. I went to kindergarten with my son every day, and I brought my daughter with me. When he got into junior first, the teacher said there, Mrs. Vickers, I think she was already retired, but have you considered teaching? I was like, oh, no. She said, well, maybe what you should do is you should substitute. And I substituted, and guess what I found out? Even though the kids were bigger than me, I enjoyed it. I liked hanging out with the kids, and so they asked me, I was substituting, and then the next year, they called me in the summer and said, would you be interested in teaching? Now, who gets a job like that? Would you be interested in teaching for a year? I was like, oh, let me pray about this thing, because I'm not really sure. That's not my calling. And I prayed about it, and I've been here ever since.
That's amazing. Who has had Miss McKenzie already, or is currently in? All right. Wow, that's amazing. Look at the high schoolers, too.
Mrs. Bello, too.
Oh, yes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 30th year teaching.
Come on, let's go.
I did 2 years in Kids U. I worked in Kids U for 2 years before I started teaching, so 32 altogether.
That's awesome. Wow. What would you say is like your favorite thing about teaching?
I like the kids. I really do. And I taught your wife, by the way, too.
Let's go.
I like the kids. I mean, you can talk to them, you can play with them, and they're not like kindergartners. You don't have to wipe noses you might have to tell them to clean their nose, but you don't have to wipe noses or
wipe
ears.
I thought they said like noses.
Wipe noses.
Oh, okay.
And they're reasonable, you know, and you can reach them. They're not at a place where they think they know absolutely everything. Some of them think they do, but you know. But I like the fact that we can be open to dialogue at this age, and they get it.
Right.
I really like it.
Right. Challenges are often overlooked of the challenges of teaching. What would you say are some of the challenges you've faced?
I think the kids who have had math classes and they feel like, oh, math, I hate math. It's just so hard. And that's a challenge to overcome, you know, trying to create intrinsic motivation. Like, you can do this. Look how I'm making it easy for you. All you got to do is follow the steps. And then when they're trying, it's such a pleasure to see it on their faces. When they just give up, it's hard to find ways to motivate them when they give up. So you just keep it up and keep it up and keep it up. So trying to create in them an intrinsic motivation. What that means is you want to do it. You know, like Annabelle was saying, that once she decided that she wanted, thank you, Annabelle, for your kind words. Once she decided that that's what she wanted to do, she set her mind to do it. And I'm telling you, she's been knocking it out the park. So well done, Annabelle. Well done.
Intrinsic motivation. I like that. Someone say intrinsic.
Hey, that was weak. Intrinsic.
Motivation. Let's go. Any memories that come to mind of
There is one
good
memory.
times?
You guys got to keep this on the low, okay?
Okay, we're only live streaming, but it's okay.
I know, right? Years ago, probably in like my 3rd year, I'm really a mom. I'm really a mom. How many of you guys have experienced my mom side? Okay, I'm really a mom. And I happen to be a teacher, and I was walking up one of the rows, and one kid was just mouthing off, and I popped him upside the back of the head.
Oh, whoa.
And I thought to myself, ooh. So I grabbed his head and gave him a noogie, like, I'm playing with you. And I started praying about that for the rest of the week, like, oh, somebody's going to fire me. I'm going to fire for real. But I remembered that, and then when I talked to him about it, he didn't really remember it. And one more story, I remembered it, because, you know, you stress it over stuff like that. One more story. There was this young lady in the 8th grade. She decided to get baptized, and I don't know how many guys know Mrs. West, but she was there getting ready to get baptized, and we knew her really well, and she would just go like this in her walk. And we just jokingly made a comment, we should take her out after she gets baptized. But, just conversation and joking, but, you know, I ran into her probably about a year ago, and she is doing well. She's living for Christ, and her children are being raised in the church, and she loves the Lord, and if that means everything.
Right.
But those are the 2 memories that I remember the most. She posted a picture, by the way, on Facebook with me talking in her ear. I said, I must have been saying something crazy to you. I must have been saying something crazy like, don't you get up on that stage and act a fool, you know? And she said, probably, but it's okay because I love you. I was like, oh, thank you so much.
Honesty. Wow, thank you for exposing that.
Honesty.
Honesty. By the way, our challenge for today for honesty is that if you need help, ask a teacher for help. You know, it's a brave thing to do to ask for help. And so as we're talking about
Absolutely.
honesty today, sorry, that was just a side thing.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Any hobbies that you're willing to share to everyone here? Any hobbies?
I do a lot of little things. But the one thing I like above anything else is Bible studies. I do Bible studies on YouTube, believe it or not.
Come on, like and subscribe.
Yeah, for real, for real, for real. And I enjoy doing that. I enjoy talking about Jesus, his power, the fact that he's made a way of escape from sin. I find that to be more educational than math. God always blesses that we learn the math, but when my students usually leave, they leave with both math and having learned more about God.
Mm.
And so that's a hobby that I enjoy. Another hobby that I used to do a lot was sewing.
Nice.
I do some crocheting. I used to do some like go-karting.
What?
It's just crazy stuff.
That's awesome. Go-kart? Anyone voting for a go-kart field out here? Yeah. Come on.
It raises the beast in you.
That's right. And Miss McKenzie will be our instructor. Wow. Go-kart class? Hello? Yes. And then, of course, our back in time question. If you could go back in time, see your junior high self, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell my 13-year-old self, don't be mad at the school system for moving you from one school to a different school. I changed junior high schools right between 7th and 8th grade. They moved the district line, and it separated me from all my friends.
Oh, no.
Or those I thought were my friends. And I had to take a bus to Matthew Gage out in Riverside. And it actually set me up for doing better in school, because sometimes when you're with your friends, you don't do as well as you could. And separating me from my friends allowed me to focus on my education. They were offering an excellent education. At first I was mad and I was angry with the world. Not that I show anger like that, but I just didn't have any want to get to nobody. I didn't want to know anybody. And turns out a lot of those kids went to high school with me and they all knew my name, and I don't even know why, but they did. And it actually set me up for a much better education. So don't be so angry. Get to know people. Have some fun. Go to the activities. Play some sports. Just enjoy your 8th grade year.
Right.
Enjoy it. Don't just throw it away. Be a part of the things. Don't sit and eat lunch by yourself. Find somebody and just sit down with them. If they get up and leave, that's their problem.
Mercy. But forward to a table, y'all. Forward to a table.
Forward to a table. Or you can come have lunch with me.
There we go. Can we just thank Ms. McKenzie, y'all? Wow. Thank you so much for those stories. Really appreciate it. Also, check out this sign. Shout out to Miss Myers, huh? We go pray. Let's go. All right, so we're going to continue the conversation now. So we did some sacred listening to the stories of our peers and some of our teachers, which is something we're doing every day, right? We continue to do it. Now it's your turn to participate in the discussion. We're actually going to have the high school ministry directors. Hello, guys. They're going to come to each of your groups, and you're going to have a chance to talk with them about what's going on in your life, about things in school and everything like that. Questions maybe you might have about high school or anything like that. So high school MDs, go ahead and go to your groups, and this is your chance to now give back into the conversation, to participate in the sacred act of resurrection of our school, of building our community, all right? So high schoolers, let's get it. And then live stream people, hello. We're going to continue talking to you on the chat, and thanks for coming through. 10 minutes. Go ahead and introduce yourselves to the MDs and they're gonna introduce themselves. It's be a good time. All right, in our last few minutes here, high school MDs, if you could, ask just some for prayer requests from your groups, and then you go ahead and pray together. Ask for some prayer requests. Anyone willing to say anything that you want to be praying for, and then the high school MD will pray with you guys. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the conversation today. This is the practice, sacred practice of conversation. Again, we are doing this to rebuilding our community, and we will continue to do so tomorrow for our third day week of prayer. And reminder, today's challenge is to ask for help if that's something that you need. Honesty. Practice honesty today. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later. We'll dismiss from the front row on this side and then this one, okay? Thanks, guys. Oh, okay. All right, this guys can go also.